Okay, so here we're continuing in ARC section 90A as it relates to the review of financial statements. In our last video, we discussed obtaining knowledge and understanding of the client's industry and typical accounting policies with the entity. And so now we're going to use that information that we obtained to design and perform review procedures. So it says here in ARC section 90A.17 and 18 that we should design and perform analytical procedures and make inquiries and perform other procedures that we find appropriate to obtain limited assurance as a basis for reporting whether we're aware of any material modifications that should be made to the financial statements in order for those statements to be in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework based on our understanding of the industry, our knowledge of the entity, and our awareness of the risks that the accountant may unknowingly fail to modify the accountant's review report on financial statements that are materially misstated. So in later videos, we will get into specifically what types of procedures we should do, but this just tells us our overarching goal here in performing these procedures. And in an effort for efficiency and effectiveness, we would want to focus our analytical procedures and inquiries in areas where we believe there's an increased risk of material misstatement. And this will become apparent from our knowledge of the industry and accounting policies and the entity, which accounts are more complex to calculate appropriately or put in within the applicable financial reporting frameworks requirements, and which accounts require significant estimates or professional judgment. And those would be the accounts that we want to hone in on in our analytical procedures and inquiries. So we have some explanatory material here at 834. Or 833 and 834, and this should give us a better idea of how we should design our procedures. So let's go down to those explanatory material sections. Okay, so now we're down into the explanatory material section as it relates to designing and performing review procedures. So it makes a note here that performing analytical procedures and inquiries will normally provide us with a reasonable basis for obtaining limited assurance. But they do note here that in some circumstances, we might perform procedures that are commonly performed in an audit. And if we do that, the engagement still remains a review, and we don't necessarily have to perform an audit of the financial statement. So we can still say that we performed this review in accordance with SARS. And there also might be circumstances where the analytical procedures and inquiries that we do might modify our risk awareness. For example, we might come across some new information that would have us change our risk assessment of certain accounts, and then we should modify our design of our review procedures in line with that newfound information. So in summary, at this point in the engagement, we have gained an understanding of the client and its industry and then designed procedures, analytics, and inquiries to obtain limited assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatements. And in subsequent videos after this, we'll discuss actually performing these analytical procedures and inquiries.